Welcome back, everyone. So we're going to do a 3D drawing of palm trees. So I'm going to do this one in ballpoint pen. Let's see, this one is from Center City Automotive in Davis, California. Friends of ours, Doug and Margie Hatton. So I am making my box. I thought I'd do a pen so you could kind of, some of you struggle with the pen, especially with shading, so if I did one in pen, it might help you show you what I do. So I start with my box. You guys have 4 boxes for your 3D drawings. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pen, pencil, color pencil, medium of your choice. Pick one and do it in watercolor. So this one should work out really well with watercolor because it's a palm trees and there's blue sky and blue water, so I think you'll really enjoy this one. So I'm going to do 2 palm trees. So I'm going to start with this one. The next palm tree, the second one, is just a little bit further up the paper, not a lot. And notice that is curved. So we know that something that comes up the surface of the paper is further back, but this one is coming in front of this tree. And then it's going to cross over and go in front of that tree. So you've got these intertwining palm trees. Okay, and I do believe this could possibly happen. I don't know. I just made it up. So here's the palm branches, kind of raggedy at the end. They curve up. And then this palm tree here, it's hidden, so we've got some overlapping. Right there. Let's put a few more hints of some more leaves, fronds, I think they're called. And these are not gonna, these are the ones in the back. Let's shade those in first. They are gonna catch a lot of shadow, so they're gonna be darker. So let's just take care of that right now. And you can see I'm making mostly just straight lines. And just go over it to make it darker. So the branches will have, let's add a little bit of this. I think this would be a little separation in the branches. So I'm just going to start to shade, and I'm just using cross-hatching here. Towards the top of the leaves, it's going to probably be a little lighter. Remember, these are curving. And they're blowing in the breeze, so it's okay if it's a little bit uneven. And this one here will also have a little bit of shading, and you can just see I'm just using cross-hatching. Straight lines. And you just go in a different directions. So just using straight lines like this, that's hatching, and then cross hatching. It's when you go back over those lines that you just started. All right, so now I want to do some shading on the actual, this one here before I forget. So the trunks of the trees, these branches are going to cast a shadow on the trunk, And because the trunk is round, the cast shadow will be round. So here is a round, and then I'm just going to fill this in. You see this a lot on trees, but you probably don't pay much attention to it, but maybe now you'll start. So there's the cast shadow, and you want to make this a little darker than the background or lighter. You just want to make sure that this value and that value aren't the same, otherwise they're going to blend together. So you can either make this darker or these branches darker than this one lighter. So now I'm going to put a form shadow on these trunks, and I'm just going to use, in this case, this is hatching. And then cross hatching. You can still use the squiggly line with ballpoint pen. You could really do pretty much everything. I almost prefer drawing with pen. I like the bolder line you can get with pen. I also like that it doesn't smudge at all. Remember, form shadows kind of start out blurry, they get darker, and then along the edge, it gets a little lighter. That's called reflective light. You're going to do this 4 times. You may want to experiment with cross hatching, and you can still do squiggly lines with the ballpoint pen, and you can mix them. You kind of find your own little style. All right, this branch or trunk is in front of this one, so this is going to cast a shadow, and because this trunk is curved, so that is curved. So we've got a cast shadow on that trunk, and it really looks like there's sunlight hitting it. Same thing is going to happen here. You're going to get a cast shadow across that trunk that really looks more or less like a stripe. But when you look at it, it really looks like it's a cast shadow. So there's basically our palm trees, but let's put them in a context. They're on a little island. Nice. The shore facing us, I'm going to make it just a little bit darker, a little bit bolder. So these branches are going to cast a shadow. So about where your form shadow begins is where your cast shadow is going to begin. They're interlocking. So I'm using cast shadows or hatching and cross hatching. To make these cast shadows. Cast shadows have the hard edge. And sometimes they do blur out towards the end, and this is going to be in the water. I'm just going to indicate some shading this way. The good news is cast shadows are very forgiving. You just can do a lot with cast shadows in terms of the shape. They're not a mirror image of the object. You always want to touch up your drawings as you go along. How about coconut falling from this one. So I'll put a form shadow on it. And cast shadow as if it's falling from the tree. Or it could be hanging if I attach a string. If you want to use some action lines, that gives it a sense that it's falling. I like horizon lines. Let's see, I'll put a horizon line. See, now I got a little overlapping. It really does help with. And let's see if I can draw a perfect circle. Whew. Yeah, pretty good. So there's the sun. It's going to reflect in the water. So water moves, so you never know exactly how it's going to move. And here's some waves coming off the island. You're going to be tempted to put a yellow sun, and you're going to want to paint all this blue, and then you're going to come in with the yellow to make this yellow, but you're going to mix it with the blue, and you're going to end up with a green looking sun. So when you get to this reflection, and it can be perfectly circular too. If the water is perfectly still, this jagged, blob right there indicates there's just some moving water. But if you want the yellow from the sun to reflect in the water, leave this blank, paint the blue, if that's what you want your color water to be. Paint all around it, leave this blank, and then come in with whatever color you want to reflect it. And there's our palm trees. So I hope you enjoyed this, and we will talk soon. And that's with a ballpoint pen. See you later. Have a great day.